Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Shintaro Higashi show with Peter Yu. Today, we're going to talk about something that has never been talked about in judo, ever in the history of judo, ever.
Which is?
Micro Judo. I just came up with that word, by the way.
So he literally just told me I have no idea what that is about. So why don't you take it away? What is Micro Judo?
It is Micro Judo is one of those things that everyone sort of does subconsciously. And it's like the tiniest of tiniest things that people focus on that's very important at the highest levels, but you never see the beginner intermediates do.
Okay.
It's the thing that people ask, like, what should my pinky be doing? And I'm like, don't focus on that. Focus on making the shape of the technique first. Don't even focus on what your pinky's doing. But Micro Judo is the very last thing, but it's also the very first thing. You know what I mean?
So like, it's like beginners sometimes focus on these minute details.
Yeah.
But then they ultimately become the difference maker when you're at the highest level, right?
And I think a lot of people develop this stuff naturally because none of this is
really
explicitly taught.
Yeah.
But I see all the high level guys doing it.
Yeah.
And even my guys also do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are some of these things? You mentioned the pinky, but I think you were just trying to make a point.
Well, actually, really,
yeah.
Pinky, For instance, like when you grab in the sleeve,
yeah.
right? You do sort of a pulsating motion with your hands to grip more of the sleeve.
Oh, yeah. Just get more material, yeah.
So it's not open or closed.
Yeah.
Right? And then you hear people saying like, oh, you want to grab with the bottom three fingers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pinky, ring, and middle finger, right?
Yeah.
And then the forefinger is sort of just kind of hanging out.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's kind of true, right?
Yeah.
So when you grab the sleeve, where do you grab the sleeve? Low or middle? Depending on intent of what you're willing to do, you slide it down or up, okay?
Yeah.
Now, let's look for the sake of like taking the opponent's hand off. You want to be closer down to the sleeve so you could maximally separate your chest and their head, okay? How can you do that if there's too much slack inside the sleeve?
Right.
There needs to be no slack between their wrist and the gi. It needs to be tight.
Yeah.
All right. Think about like if there's a handcuff is loose and then you slam your hand on it, it hurts the hand. Right.
Yeah.
But if there's contact already, then you could put more force on the actual handcuff, the chain. Right.
Yeah.
So you're kind of adjusting where the tension is created. So how do I do that with one hand? You know what I mean? Because you can't just like, hold on 1 second, let me adjust my grip, grab the wrist, and then adjust. You can't do this, right? So naturally, you have to kind of adjust your hand. So when you're grabbing the side of the sleeve, you pull the pinky, and then you claw the ring finger, and then you claw that back, and now you have the middle finger, and you claw that back, right?
Yeah.
And now there's more gi bunched up underneath your fingers. And then you reach with your pinky, ring finger, middle finger, and it's this pulsating motion to pull more. To pull more of the sleeve into your hand. Okay. So like grab the bottom of your shirt. If you grab the bottom of your shirt, you can pull, right? And then you use your thumb also, right? To kind of gather and then collect more and more of the material. Like if you're grabbing a towel and you're bunching up the material with one hand, you're doing this in judo. It's a micro movement.
I've been like, while you're talking about this, I've been trying to imagine myself doing judo, and I guess I do that. I'm trying to remember. I'm grabbing my pants, right?
Right. You got to use your engage in the palm of your thumb and all this stuff, and you can collect it. Okay. Now, let's just say it's in the middle of the sleeve, like right by your elbow. And now all of a sudden you're doing it, you're pulling it to the side, and now there's tension on the top side. So there's maximal torque pushing down. You can put your weight on that arm. Okay. Now, if you want to go for something like Seoi, because your hand is on top, if you lift it, the other person's arm is underneath your arm. Okay.
Right.
Which is much more likely for you to be off balance. Okay. So you want to tuck your hands underneath the gi, right? So now you're lifting from underneath. So the opponent's arm is above your knuckles. Okay?
Right.
So now much more lift and then adjusting. Sode for Seoi. So it's like, so how do you adjust?
Yeah.
Right. Pulling the sleeve to the side, right? hand goes to the side, collecting the material down, and then driving your hand underneath the arm, right?
Mm.
And then if I want to create downward force, I would turn the hand back out and then press down.
Right.
So that's like sort of micro judo. Very, very like minor details.
Yeah.
Right. If you can't stand on one leg to do Seoi, then none of this stuff matters anyway.
Right.
You know? And these things people will naturally adjust by themselves, kind of. But could it be explicitly taught to give you a lead or give you an advantage?
I guess, but I think you're right. Like if you teach people these things too early, then they'll probably be overwhelmed and kind of lose the big picture.
Yes. So I never really do, you know?
Yeah.
I'm always like fluency over accuracy, as they say.
Right.
In
I
teaching
see.
English. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And these things fix
That's
themselves. They usually always do. And then you can fix them later on. They're blasting through combinations. I'm like, hey, listen, when you go for Sode, right, this is how you drive the knuckles underneath. And then usually that blows people's minds, you know?
Yeah.
They're like, wow, I never even thought of it that way. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I see what you don't, you know? Like,
wise master.
Yeah. And even getting that sleeve hand. Right?
Yeah.
Playing with range, things like this. How do you like reach out and grab that sleeve so fast?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's micro judo. You know what I mean?
So how do you teach that? Like the grip fighting, like how to reach for it and things like that. You just have to have them like show the big stuff and then like basic grip fighting sequence and then have people just do a lot of grip fighting.
That helps. But the way I like do that, right? For like, if you're trying to reach out and grab a sleeve or something.
Yeah.
If the sleeve is hanging by the hand and the arm is moving, right? It's hard to like reach out and grab it perfectly hanging off a wrist. Okay.
Right.
So what you're trying to do is slap the person's hand or the wrist. Slap the wrist, slap the wrist, slap the wrist. And then you make contact with it, which is a little bit easier. And then as soon as it makes contact, then you grab it.
Oh.
Like you're not trying to coordinate the grip. You're trying to coordinate the slap and then catch. Right? Slap, catch. And then you make those adjustments with the little fingers, right? The pulsating fingers.
Yeah.
Right? And now you can anchor downwards by turning your wrist over, right? Or bring the hand underneath if you're going to go for Sode. Those kinds of things. That's micro judo. You know what I mean? And once you have that, you're twitching to make him think that you're going to go for something. Twitching to show, hey, I might go over here. Right? To show these feints.
Right. Feints are like micro judos too, I guess.
It's judo, yeah.
It's like, I know you show feints, like you teach people feints sometimes, but not when you're a beginner, it's hard to get the concept.
Yes. Yeah. And it could be a much bigger feint or a smaller feint.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
It's like, I use dodgeball because it's so intuitive, you know? You can quickly twitch and pull that arm back. Right? And that's like a short feint, right?
Right.
Or you can pretend to throw and keep the ball. That's a longer feint.
Right.
And you alternate it. And then you nail them in the face. Yeah. Right. That's also micro judo, you know?
And I guess you could even go further after that and like talk about different positions, like right versus right versus left.
Yes.
There's a lot of micro judo there too.
Yeah, because what your sleeve hand is doing is very different from right versus left.
Yeah.
Right versus right, the person's lapel hand is right there. So it's like, it's right in front of you. Okay. Right versus left, because we're fighting lapel to lapel with our sleeve hand back.
Yeah.
It's much longer of a distance, you see? It's longer. You want to catch the outside from the inside like this. So you're like looping your hand back around, you know, because you want to maximally get the sleeve.
Right.
Because if you're on the outside like of my hand, it's very difficult for me to rotate my hand inwards. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if we're keeping our arms outward, our palms always face inside.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So outside is kind of better, almost. Not better, but like in terms of getting the sleeve first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone's like, inside position. Yes, inside position. But with the sleeve control, right versus left, right? That's micro judo. How does anyone ever really think about this? I do. You know, a lot of the champions do.
Yeah.
Right? And then we know there's lapel hand study.
Yeah.
Right. And then adjusting your lapels.
Oh, yeah.
Right versus right, very different. If they're holding onto the lapel and you adjust the gi, that hand goes down. With the gi. Right? The hand's not sliding down the gi. The gi is sliding down. Right?
Yep.
When you're going with a very, very strong person, you want to bring their hand down. sometimes you physically can't take their hand off the gi because they're so physically strong. They got like gorilla hands.
Yeah.
In that case, you're putting downward pressure and you're just moving the whole gi. Now their hand's lower. And then when they try to bite up on the gi, that's when you pulse their hand down.
That biting up the gi is also micro judo, I guess.
Yeah.
Like adjusting. Like a lot of beginners, if you do the gi adjustment, beginners may not recognize that their grip is now weaker.
Yes.
Yeah. So then, you got to adjust.
Yeah, and you can bite up the gi, but if there's downward tension, you can't because inadvertently your hand goes down, right?
Yeah.
So whenever there is no tension, you're feeling it, right?
Yeah.
There's no downward tension.
And then you
snap,
go up.
you fake, and then you quickly bite up, right? And you're like ratcheting it up.
Right.
That's micro judo. Yeah, it's very, very nuanced. I love it.
I think that's why it's more fun to watch judo matches when you are doing it, because you kind of recognize all these things that the pros are doing.
Yep.
There's little things. You can kind of see like, the grip fighting sequence is pretty fascinating.
Yeah. Everybody sees the cherry blossom as a whole.
Yeah.
But some of us see the petals fall to the floor.
See what I mean? Wise words.
That's right.
You just come up with that, or is that so?
Yes, just came up with that. And then the pretty girl that's sitting over there. See, I recognize that. See what I mean? I want to go over there.
Yeah.
Forget judo.
That's right. That's so funny.
So micro judo, it's a whole idea. It's a whole concept. And the reason why I bring it up is because I'm kind of thinking about like, maybe I'll make a video about
it.
Yeah. Just straight micro movements. Really boring for the majority of the people. It's going to be the most niche thing ever done on YouTube, probably.
But on YouTube, they say you gotta carve out your niche.
But way too niche.
Even for judo.
Yeah,
even judo class.
It's going to get 8 views. That's it.
Well, we'll see. Well, I think people will find it interesting.
Yeah, please let me know if you guys are interested in a video about micro judo.
Yeah.
Right now, there's Morote Nage. We're going to put out a 15-minute Uchimata video that can help you greatly. That's what's next on my ShintaroHigashi.com. And then I think after that, we're going to try to do this micro judo video, which is very, very interesting. I think it could definitely help, and when you can automate some of these movements, then it really is.
I think that's the key. How do you automate these movements?
I got to keep doing it, I guess. You ever see this one?
What?
Right versus left.
Yeah.
Opponent already has a lapel. I want to get my lapel, but the lapel is sitting flat on their chest. Right? Usually, you dig your thumb in and then pull the lapel towards you, and then you grip.
Right.
But because of the way we're standing opposite, the lapel's too far.
Yeah.
So you see guys turn their hand over, reach their index finger out, clip the inside, fold it over, and then put their thumb inside, and then they grip.
Oh.
You ever see that?
No, never noticed. I guess you like peel it. You peel off the gi off the skin a little, and then you just grab. Okay.
Yeah, I see it all the time. Getting the second hand on.
Wow.
Finger. Right? Forefinger.
And
it's like, it's such a micro movement, dude. I see it all the time. Right versus left, international judo.
Nice.
Japanese. Always do it.
They don't really teach. Maybe like they'll like watch other people do it and then just kind of start doing them.
I think everyone already does it. Everyone does it, but I've never heard anyone teach it before.
Yeah.
And I've heard the best coaches in the world tell me like, no, man, this is how you grab. You go get the lapel.
Yeah.
You just go like this and you go like that, right? Like, no, man, it's not what everyone's doing. Even everybody in your room is doing it this way.
Right.
Not the first hand initiative. I'm not talking about that. You're not reaching out with your forefinger before any contact is made. Range has been established. Person likes inside position. They put their hand on and they're okay with you getting the outside position, right? And those things have already been established.
Right.
There's sort of an understanding. We both like two-handed judo, so there's not real threat of like a left side one-handed thing.
Right.
It's kind of like a certain opening in chess, right? Queen's Gambit or something. Queen's Gambit and Queen's Gambit accepted, right? Queen's Gambit rejected. It's like that. hand in, okay, accepted. I'm gonna go outside, cool. And then you're gonna reach your finger out, pull the foot and thumb, right? And then it's like, okay, we're established here. Let's work. Let's fight for sleeve now.
So I see.
And then we're like kind of going like this. See it all the time, literally all the time.
Because it's like from the first interaction, for the first few interactions, they kind of established that you don't do certain things.
Yeah.
So I can go for these micro adjustments. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And you see it all the time.
Yeah. Guys try to like pay attention to this micro judo stuff when you guys watch highlights and whatnot, you know?
Yeah. Does it really give you an advantage? Maybe. You know, it really matters later down the line, but it's not something to focus on too earlier on in your career, and it gets too confusing, right? But, you know, if I make a video about this stuff, you kind of do it on your own too, right? You kind of like think of how the way you grip a gi, the way you know what I mean? Right? Like, how do you, bunch up the material proper, right? Like, like, look at it. Like, I just did it, right? Look how tight this is, you know? And you kind of keep going, right? With the look, and now you have
the whole thing,
now
whole shirt.
The shirt, you can slam someone with that t-shirt.
You made a video about that.
I did.
Yeah. Really during the pandemic.
Yeah. T-shirt judo guys. Yeah.
I know. Bring those back, man. Silly videos from the pandemic.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, this was very interesting. I actually had no idea what you were going to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're always coming up with these things.
Always.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Yeah.
This is a video coming. In the meantime, please go to shintarohigashi.com. I got shirts, videos, all that stuff. So
cool.
Check it out.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. And as always, thanks for your support, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.